Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Erin's Book Club. I know it has been forever since I've done a book review. There are reasons for it. This book review, I do have a book review to do. This one's going to take a little longer. I want to explain a few things. First and foremost, the last book review that I did, there was our cat, Munson, in it, who was recovering from some serious medical problems that we thought we'd gone over the hump with. Unfortunately, Munson developed a fever, and because he was on pred for most of his life, we really couldn't give him any NSAIDs because it would have caused ulcerations. We did what we could, but it was too much, and it became unfair to keep him going. So we had to say goodbye to Munson, and it still hurts. And it's not something that I think we're going to get over. My cat Pride is never going to be the same without him because he was kind of our peacekeeper. So that was tough. And then after that, the place where I boarded my horse had a confrontation with myself and my friend over ruts that were left in the parking lot. They were left over 4 days, and on the third day of this happening, the barn owner came after me instead of the one she suspected to leave the ruts, which was my friend, and started bad-mouthing my friend. Long story short, we were asked to leave. We were not given 30 days to get out. We were given less than 2 weeks to get out. Luckily, we had had a confrontation before. We had already found a barn, and thank God that barn was kind enough to allow us to come a month early, because we were trying to do the right thing by giving a month's notice, and the barn owner, it seems, had no interest in returning the favor. So we had to get through that. Then we found black mold in our apartment, and it became increasingly clear that we had to move out because this mold was affecting ourselves and all of my pets, my fish included. I lost a fair amount of my fish because the mold ended up being in our cistern. So we had to move to a new place. Luckily, I moved in with a very good friend. So that worked out. And in the end, it all is working out. We are very happy with where we're at. However, it's been incredibly stressful, and I've had things packed up for months, so I couldn't do any reading. I don't think I would have been able to do any reading if I could because of the stress level. So that is all said and done, and we're going to start over and carry on with the book club. And to start over carrying on, I have a book review to do. The book review I have to do today is Alice's Adventure in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, which I guess technically is 2 books, but we're going to call it one because it's a tiny book and it's in one thing. I have never read anything by Lewis Carroll. I do know the controversy by this author, which I could probably do a whole other topic on that kind of controversy and what our judgments in today's day and age really does to how people lived back when he was alive. But we're not going to go there. I'm going to talk specifically about the book. And you know what? It was incredibly refreshing to read a book that really had no point. And that had no point, and the author made no apologies for the book having no point. It was, this is what it is. This is the imagination of a young child who is just approaching womanhood and how her dreams would be. That's literally all it was. And the chaos and reasoning for that and the basic, there is no reason and that's the point kind of thing. The first book, the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, really enjoyed because there was still kind of a structure to it, a traveling through to it, more of an adventure to it. Really enjoyed it. The other book, the Through the Looking Glass, had less of a plot. It was kind of chaos just for the concept of chaos, if that makes any sense. There was no real point to it, which is okay. But it was kind of like the same thing all over again. It was a carbon copy with different characters, which I didn't enjoy as much. But all in all, for the time period that I was going through and the stress that I was going through, it was exactly the book that I needed to kind of keep me sane going through it all and not have to follow a convoluted, deep plot. It was just fun for fun. And these little collector books that I have, I've got 4 of them in here. Really enjoying them because it comes in a little box set and really gets you into classics. So it's something that I really look forward to reading. I didn't enjoy the afterword. It was because it was more based on, I don't know, the author's transgressions instead of like the book. But all in all, really enjoyed the book. I really think anybody who is a book lover should read this at least once. At least the Adventures in Wonderland. Maybe not necessarily the Looking Through the Looking Glass one, as it's not as well known and it is not as good as the first one. But all in all, that's all I have to say about this. Thank you for continuing to be with me if you are still with me, and I will let you know when I have another book read.